Hi, I'm John DeBella, and this is your Classic Rock Update. We're going Broadway. In what is truly the joke of Broadway, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, featuring the music of Bono and The Edge, may not open on March 16th, despite a promise by its producer, Michael Cole, that it would not be delayed for a sixth time. Now, there's another report that they're making changes to the music and there's some set changes. Remember, actors have been getting hurt and there's been all kinds of problems with the show. The show is the most expensive show in Broadway history. It costs $65,000 just to get it up on stage and $1 million a week to run. Now, Ben Brantley from the New York Times says this show may rank as the worst musical in Broadway history. But to tell you the truth, they've been selling out every night during these previews, and the previews have been going on for months. So for a failure, I'd like that kind of failure in my life. Meanwhile, on the other side of New York,
It's Saturday Night Live with musical guest
Elton John!
and your host,
Elton John! Elton John has been tapped to host Saturday Night Live. Looks like it's going to be April 2nd, and actually Leon Russell is going to be his musical guest. After all, they did that duet album this year, The Union. Now, Elton has not been on the show since 1982. Now, none of this is official yet, but it seems a couple of weeks ago at the Academy Awards at this big party, they gave away a VIP pass that lets you onto the show the night that Elton John will be hosting Saturday Night Live. It went for $75,000. My guess is it's going to happen. The Who and the Kinks are two of the 10 bands who have been crowned the founding fathers of punk rock, according to Gibson.com. Now, you think about The Who, you think about My Generation, and that is, in fact, just a total punk rock anthem. It's all spit and rebellion. And you move on to the Kinks, and You Really Got Me. You got badass lyrics, you got badass guitar playing from Dave Davies, and you've got, well, Ray Davies, who really was rather snotty in his day. Actually is still this time. Now, the other bands who appear on the list are the MC5, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, Blue Cheer, Question Mark and the Mysterians, I question that one, the Electric Prunes, the Sonics, the 13th Floor Elevator, and the Seeds. Speaking of Ray Davies, you might recall back in late November, early December, Ray was supposed to be here in Philadelphia to perform. He called into the show, he talked about the performance, it never happened. He canceled the last 3 dates of this because of, well, something that happened back in 2004. You might recall Ray Davies got shot in New Orleans. Well, it seems that that shot, where he got shot in the leg, formed a blood clot of some kind. He got very sick, ended up in the hospital for weeks, and is doing much better. Now, he feels the reason for this was he didn't really get the proper care in New Orleans, and the bullet did a sort of zigzag pattern. I mean, all of this because he chased some guy down from robbing a woman's purse. You know what they say, Ray, no good deed goes unpunished. Queen's Brian May and Roger Taylor were in London last week to unveil a free exhibit on the band in celebration of their 40th anniversary. The exhibit is called Stormtroopers in Stilettos and takes a look at their early days. Now, Brian May says once you see this, you come to realize that, it was a lot of work and how we lived and how we got together and the vision that we had. There are videos and interviews and photographs and rooms set up like the apartment that they lived in. Now, if you're going to go and watch this, you only have until March 12th. It is a free exhibit, but there's a lot of Queen stuff coming up in the next few weeks. As a matter of fact, they even have a way how you can make some money.
I've woken up on mornings such as this and thought exactly the same as I'm thinking now. Every night for a year I've slept.
You forget how great Rod Stewart was when he was singing with the Jeff Beck Group, and if you've never seen it before, you could see how great they were together. That is Rod at his best. And last week, when Jeff Beck was on the show with me, we talked about what are the possibilities of this happening, and Rod says, hey, look, we got 11 tracks done. We've sent them off to Rod. It seemed kind of magical. He was in San Francisco with his drummer. They started working on stuff, and it kept leaning more toward Rod music and more toward Rod music, and now I think this album album is going to happen. It's all in Rod Stewart's hands. Jeff says he'd like to do a couple of Madison Square Garden shows. Hey, as long as we're out there, the Hollywood Bowl, but no O2 Arena. Because you see, if it was up to Jeff, he would do places like the Tower Theater. Because for Jeff, it's all about the sound. For Rod, it might be about the cash. And that is your Classic Rock update for this week. I'll see you weekday mornings on the radio. Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. Rodney, take us out.
Oh, falling down the